Hey everybody! Purpose of this video is to get you a set of instructions for making a bar chart in Excel 2010. Last video we attacked a pie chart. Now we'll do a bar chart, which is a different way of looking at data when you're not super interested in showing how 100% is broken up. So here we've got the same data from the last example, just the 5 albums. We're gonna do an insert trick here too in a second, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I'm going to, once again, select my data, just like I did last time for the pie chart. I'm going to go up to Insert, just like I did for the pie chart. But we're going to go ahead and do a column chart, not a pie. So we got the column over here. The pie was again the circular out of 100. Excel also has a thing called, they call it a bar chart, is horizontal, which is totally fine. I'll do vertical, which they call a column chart, which is totally okay. Left click on that, and then you get a bunch of options. I tend to use just the 2D columns, and we're going to use the most basic top left. We'll talk more in class about the other kinds. Sometimes they're useful, very often they're not. Usually 2D is the way to go, so we're going to go ahead and left click on that, and in pops our 2D pie chart, our 2D column chart, excuse me, bar chart. Make it a little bit bigger here. And again, you can do that. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this legend. I'm not really sure why these legends occur when you highlight data like this, so I'm just going to go ahead and just delete this. I left clicked on it and then pressed the delete button and it goes right away. So here is again your line chart. I do think it needs to be dressed up a little bit. It's got some issues. First of all, there's no title, just like there wasn't on the pie chart. So first thing we're going to do is go to layout and add a chart title above the chart, and we're going to do the same thing we did last time. Songs on Plow United LPs. Okay, so that's going to be a nice title, and again, you can play with the font sizes like we did last time if you want to break it up. What's different in a bar chart versus a pie chart is you now have an axis. You've got an axis on the vertical here. So I think that axis needs a title so you know what it is. I mean, the title kind of implies what it is. It's number of songs, but just, you know, better safe than sorry. Let's label that. So what you're going to do is click in the chart again, and you're going to go to layout like you did for chart title, but just go to axis titles. And then what does it want? What do you want to do? The primary horizontal or vertical? I don't think the horizontal needs one. It's pretty self-explanatory. We can add one, and we will in a minute. But the vertical, I think, definitely does. You can choose which way you want to do it. Rotated so that you read bottom to top. Doesn't feel very natural. Vertical, top to bottom, again, very natural. I think horizontal is the best way to go. And you double click in there. And just type, I'm going to type number of songs, and that lets people know what they're looking at. Over here is the number of songs on these albums. Now, again, this axis, I'm going to bold it too. I don't think it really needs an axis title. If you do, just add a horizontal axis below the axis and simply type album name. Okay, and then, oops, doesn't need a comma though. Okay, so I mean, I don't know. I don't think it needs that, but if your audience isn't 100% sure what the categories are, maybe they do want that. So, and again, if you make the fonts too big, weird things begin to happen. You could make the chart bigger to make things stretch. I'll leave it there just for illustrative purposes. I hope that's a word. So now, looking good so far. I really think the only thing left to do, I particularly, and this is kind of, I don't know, I've gotten in discussions with this with other math people, these gaps bother me a little bit. Excel defaults to putting gaps between bars, and the math guy in me doesn't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click on the bars so they're highlighted, and then I'm going to right click on them, and I'm going to go to Format Data Series. What that allows me to do is take the gap width away, make no gap between. If I slide this to the side, you can see what it looks like now. And you see what you got right there? You got these nice bars that are no longer touching. So now that's great. The only trick now is you don't have any differentiation between say self-titled goodnight sellout, and narcolepsy. So another thing you can do, if you want, is to right-click on there and add your data label, just like you did. Whoops, sorry. Let me get the whole data series highlighted. Hang on. There we go. And add the data labels. And now it'll actually drop in, just like it did before, the numbers above it. Now, the problem is that does differentiate between self-titled and goodnight sellout, but people might not catch that, what those little stair steps are. So something else you can do, right-click inside, format data series, and you can actually, I'm going to go to border color, and you can change the border to solid lines, and you can change it. This is what I like to use. I like to use black lines to differentiate. And if you want, you can mess by going to border styles, and you can make the width of the line a little bit heavier so it's more defined. And this is just really a beginning of what you can do. You can make these two-tone colors in here. You could probably make every one of the data labels a different color. I guarantee you can. If you format the data point, you can make the fill something like yellow. Yeah, and you make them all different colors if you want. So you can run with this quite a bit. You can take out these little horizontal lines if you don't like them. But basically, you've got like the preeminent parts of this chart. You've got the title, you've got the axes labeled, you've got I like having the bars touch. You might decide you don't. You might decide instead you want them a little bit gapped, but not as much as Microsoft defaults. It's up to you, really. I mean, it's really your chart. I tend to like them when they're butting up against each other, but that's me. So you might like this look better. Regardless, it's a quick tutorial to getting a bar chart that you might need into a document that you might be creating. So hope it helped. Talk to you soon.